Up in the sky, far away, there's a magic world where we play. So come along with me, and you'll be happy. Oh, you'll be happy. Oh, you'll be happy. You'll be happy. You'll be happy. I should just stick to the script, shouldn't I? Howdy, folks. How are y'all doing? My name is Reese, and welcome back to Skybees 2. Lots of 2s on this channel. Tekkit 2, Skybees 2, Xenoblade Chronicles, the second sequel. If 2 is the first one, then 3 is the second sequel. Welcome back. Welcome back, folks, where Episode 9 has officially been released as of the time of recording this episode, which means that... Oh! A tree grew! I thought I just did something really incredible with the movement that no one in this game had ever done before. That I'd somehow, like, swan dived or did, like, a dolphin dive or something. I don't know. I was as confused as you are. Don't you pretend like you weren't. But as it turns out, no, that is not what happened, and that is okay. Place another couple of trees here in the hopes that something interesting might happen with them. We'll have to wait and see and not leave the mouse hovering over the stop record button. That happened the other day when I was recording Xenoblade Chronicles 3, actually. The game we were just talking about. And yes, that is still an ongoing series. Episodes have not come out lately, but it's still happening. I am still recording them. And actually the current plan for them right now is that I'm going to 100% the DLC, and we are going to... Oh, I forgot that I could do that in here. That's perfect. That's so much easier. I'm going to 100% the DLC, and then release that as either 1 or 2 really big videos, and then we're going to go back to the main series, and we are going to finish all of the Ascension quests, and that'll be it. Because right now, I've got too much that I want to do, and I feel like all of my ongoing series are kind of weighing me down. Like, there's some projects I need to finish. I need to get them wrapped up so we can move on to other things. And, I mean, I love Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and I don't actually want the game to end. I think I've talked about this. I would be happy for that game to just keep going, but it's been almost a year, and it's getting to be a bit embarrassing. So it's time to hurry that along so we can move on. And I want to play other games, and I want to record other games and make other series. You know, nothing good comes from a stale channel. Idle hands are the devil's boring YouTube channel. Or something like that, I think I want to say is a real saying. Possibly. But there we go. 48 is going to be more than enough, considering we only needed like 8 more here, and now we're done. But there's that completed. So there's our easy breezy, beautiful windows for the Beetrium, which is a title. It's a ridiculous title, isn't it, that I keep forgetting the name of. I got some more comments, like I was saying, some pretty handy ones. Hopefully they'll end up being handy. I'm unsure at the moment. We'll have to wait and see how much fruit is born from these comments. But according to Lucas Kits, now, he could be trolling me, but according to Lucas Kits, we can apparently get water pumped into this system automatically without needing this to make it. This is wasting my leaves. Stop making water. Now, I'm not sure if he meant that we could connect up like a glass jar, because this seems pretty obvious, right? Like, we get a glass jar with whatever tool is the easiest to collect a glass jar with. And then let's say we plop that down right there. And then we just possibly pipe that into the network. And then, actually, this is probably the worst place for it, because what I think he meant in his comment, which will be on the screen now, is that we could place the jar, say, next to our infinite water source. And then we could, like, plug it in. And then I could manually grab one of my many, and by many I mean the only one that I've got, ceramic buckets. And I could fill this thing up. And then it would automatically be able to pull the water out of here for crafting recipes, is what I assume he meant. The alternative is that what he said and what he meant was that I could somehow fit a jar auto processing block above a water source block, and it would infinitely collect water, but I don't believe that can possibly be what he meant. Is there any recipes in here that use water? This can create cobblestone using water and lava. Well, I mean, the easiest way to test this would be to first off get rid of all the water in here. And we'll just stick that over here for the time being, because otherwise these don't stack, meaning they take up a ton of space in something like a chest, whereas they can just go in here and it'll be fine. Look at this, this is going well. Our first sapling from the hopper, from the hopping botany pot. That's a beautiful thing to have, isn't it? But, so for right now, let's see, there's no water left in the system. All we have left is leaves. Both of these are configured to automatically make dirt, so or, I mean, it doesn't even need to be one of the automated ones. It could be any of these, really. Is there anything that we can make that uses water as a part of its recipe? It kind of looks like no, aside from... Oh, well, hold on. I can scroll, obviously. Water and sand will make clay, but that doesn't need... Oh, you know what? We could just get a regular one of our tempered glasses. Well, no, they're all back there. Can I just make another one, then? Can I just... I don't have enough glass panes. I don't want to make one. Okay, fine. I'll stop you from making dirt, unfortunately. And can you make sand? Go. It worked! So it's getting the sand from inside of here. So right now we have 11 clay. I'm going to take that out so we can verify that we do get a new piece of clay in there. And yeah, look, it took water out of there, didn't it? It kind of looks like it did. One way to test would see, can we add more water? We can. Okay, well that's great. That means I have to manually put water into this glass jar, but it did technically work. So if we built that over there closer to here, I guess we could plug it in. Could we just run like a cast iron tube over here to the same? I mean, if we wanted to make an infinite amount of clay, I suppose we could do that. We could connect up an iron tube to our drawer here with the sand in it, and then have this automated to just constantly make clay using the sand from over there and water from here. I'm real curious about the water inside of here, though. I don't think that's what he meant, but it would be swell if it was. Let's get this thing back up and producing dirt again. That's sort of our #1 priority at the moment, is getting as much dirt as possible so that we can finish the floor in here. And I guess we're pretty good right now on stone. So we'll go ahead and pull the stone out. We will keep this running, making more charcoal. And then we will do the secret step in the operation. The roof is going to be made out of glass. We've not talked about this yet, but the plan is that the roof be made out of glass. And we have 15 stacks of glass already, or sand already. So we'll go ahead and just get that cooking. And it'll be beautiful. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. And then I was thinking about this. I might want to actually go onto the roof. So we can either add a ladder or we can add a staircase right here, and that could be fun because it's risky. At any point we could fall off the edge there. Now I know we talked about not wanting to do stairs before because it was a poor ratio of how many blocks went into it versus how many stairs you got out. It's like 6 to 4, or what would that be if you shrunk that down? 6 to 4, 3 to 2? Is that how that reduces down? That's... because half of 6 is 3, and half of 4 is 2. I can do math, I promise. I did, to be fair. It's not that I couldn't do the math, it's that it took me a second to, like, second guess the really basic bit of the math there. That is correct, though. This is going to stick out further than I kind of wanted it to, is the issue. And, gosh darn it, that does not go there. That does not go there at all. Let's see. There we go. Oh, Shrek. That guy could be trouble. There we go. See, that sticks out maybe too far over here. Probably more than I intended. But, that does allow us to get the drop on this guy. Surprise, Joker! You're not the Joker. Where did you come from? Did you spawn down here on the ground, or did you come from above? I suppose he could have spawned up there. That would actually make a ton of sense, but he might have also just spawned from literally any point in the grass here. So there we go. We'll just throw down what's left of our torches to get a little bit more light in the room, and hopefully prevent that from happening again. Hey, though, we got a bone! We do have a real full-size, full-grown bone now. Can we apply a bone to our sword? We're still not convinced that a bone is the sort of thing you can add after the fact. In fact, I'm almost sure that it isn't. I think you have to use it as an actual building material, whereas something like redstone you can apply that later. That's just my assumption, though. What was I in the middle of doing? Oh yeah, this. This just sort of sticks out there, don't it? It's very much present in the space. We're gonna leave it for now, because I actually think I want the glass to be 1 tile higher, so we're gonna have to go around this entire thing and place down bricks like that. So we might as well just leave the stairs there for the time being, and we'll eventually replace it with ladders. They actually sold me the wrong type of ladder. If you live in the UK, you'll get that reference, or if you live anywhere else in the world and you listen to ancient episodes of the Yog Pod, this feels risky. This feels super dangerous. Like, this is a guaranteed way to die if you're not paying... Oh gosh, see, I already fell off once, because I'm not paying the most amount of attention possible. This corner here is going to be real tricky. This is not going to be a very pretty building, but the goal is not to make a building that is pretty. It's to make a building that is acceptable looking, passable looking, and functional as a Beetrium. That is what we're going for here. We're looking for passability and functionality. Form comes after function in this situation. Not normally, but in this situation. We're going to keep our bees trapped in here. We're going to get them producing things, and then we're going to hopefully figure out how to make iron. Because I feel like iron is the thing that's holding us back. Once we have iron, we're going to be unstoppable. There will literally be nothing in this... Well, I think they said that about the Titanic, didn't they? Or is that apocryphal? That might be apocryphal. Maybe that's one of those things that everyone says and everyone believes is true, but no one's ever bothered to verify. Did the captain or the creator of the Titanic actually say that not even God can sink this ship? And then it got sunk by an iceberg. It's always really dark when people talk about that, and they're like, well, I guess God showed him. I don't know if that's in God's nature to just sink a ship to be spiteful. I don't think so. There we go. We've got that's beautiful. I'm happy with that. I don't know if they ever really said that. That could be apocryphal. That could be like when people say, did you know that it's illegal to collect rainwater? And it's like, okay, but where? Like, what do you mean it's just illegal? It's not. It's not. It's prohibited in some states. I'm going to bring this up every time I mention, like, apocryphal things that everyone believes for some reason. It's always going to be this, because this irks me more than anything. It's not just the fact that people think that it's illegal to collect rainwater everywhere universally without question, but that they'll argue with you about it when you correct them. It is not universally illegal. In many states, it's allowed. In many states, there are restrictions, but you can do it. In some states, you need, like, a permit from the government. And in a couple of states, it's illegal. But saying blatantly that it's illegal to collect rain... And it might seem like... Who's ever told you this? I've heard this from so many people. It's shocking the number of people who have told me this in my life. It's got to be at least 3. At least 3 people have told me this. And all of them have argued with me when I've told them they're wrong. I don't know why. It's just one of those things where you get told it. And it's like people who to this day think that... did you know that sugarcane grows faster on sand than it does on dirt? It's like, that's just not true. I don't think that's ever been true. It actually is. That might actually be true. That's just an example, though. That's just me giving an example of a thing. Like, you might think that it's true, but did you ever actually independently look that up? Or did you just hear a YouTuber, like maybe a lot of YouTubers say it? All it takes is one YouTuber saying that, and then other YouTubers watch that video, and they think it's true, and then they say it in their series, and now you've heard it in like 7 or 8 different places. Sorry, I had to go close Steam. I was getting like Steam notifications. You hear it in like 7 or 8 different places, and you think to yourself, well, all these people are saying it, it must be true. But all of them got their bad information from the same source, who themselves might have gone out and found out that it's not true and corrected it, but it's too late now. Because now they're like, let's say it was like one YouTuber, right? And let's just pick a YouTuber. I don't want to actually bully anyone. Never mind. I'm not going to pick a real YouTuber. You know what? I'll pick myself. Let's say I don't think I've ever made that claim in a video, but for the sake of this demonstration, let's say in the year 2011, I made a YouTube video and said, hey, listen, folks, did you know that you can get sugarcane, or at the time reeds, it would have been called, to grow faster on sand than on dirt? And everyone watched that video. That's how you know it's a hypothetical, because no, they didn't. But, you know, for the sake of this demonstration, Paul Soares Jr. watched it, and he said it in his videos. Yogscast watched it. They said it in theirs. Ant Venom. Bebop Vox. Markiplier's played Minecraft, maybe? Probably not. PewDiePie has. All of them watched that video, and they went on to share that information with people. So now everyone's heard it. Well, the year is now, let's say, 2019, and I found out it's not true, and I say it's not true in my video, and everyone says, you're wrong, actually? But I'm the one who started the bad information, and now I'm being told that I'm wrong. That's the insanity of the world we live in, and there are people like that out there who will just blindly, having never looked into anything on their own, just believe it to be fact. Like, no, you're wrong. Like, I'm the source of the bad information. Why are you arguing with me when I'm correcting myself? That's the madness we're living in. That's the world of, not just America. Because Minecraft is global, baby. There's a ton of stupid people the world over arguing this point. Hey, actually, no, you stay in there. What I wanted was dirt. So it's like, again, it might have been true, and I'm using that as an example. Let's find out together. Let's find out together. Does sugar cane grow faster? Oh, look, on sand. Here it goes. Sugarcane, this is from the Minecraft wiki. Sugarcane grows at the same speed on either dirt and sand. Sugarcane, that's it. It just stops there. No, it doesn't make any difference whatsoever what block you planted on. This is from Stack Exchange, Reddit. Sometimes a few sugarcane will grow faster than others, just like sometimes you'll flip heads more than tails. Doesn't mean the coin is biased. There you go. Now we know. So there you go. The answer is no. Sugarcane does not grow faster on sand, and its growing speed doesn't depend on what kind of block it is on. That's from Mining Cubes. Yes, they grow at the same rate. That's from Minecraft Forum. We now know definitively. But if I make that, because I think I've made that statement in videos in the past and maybe even live streams where people have told me, like, no, you're wrong. I'm not! There's the evidence. Where'd you get your evidence from? A YouTuber you watched 10 years ago said it, based on bad information they got watching another YouTuber, and now for some reason you've decided that you're gonna die on this hill without ever independently verifying it for yourself and finding out whether or not it's true. It's not illegal to collect rainwater depending on where you live. It's not a universal truth that that's the case. All I'm asking, and this is all I'm asking, is that instead of arguing with people, maybe, just maybe, verify your facts beforehand. It's okay to be wrong about something, and it's okay to, like, disagree with people. But if you've not, like, independent, you know, I've got another example for you. This one I'm not 100% sure on because I didn't spend a lot of time researching it. I could probably, I want to go, but I read a couple of articles. I was in the backseat of a car, right? And it was either me or someone else, I think it might have been Micah, heard like a ringing in their ear for a couple of seconds. They're like, ah. And he's like, do you guys ever get that thing where occasionally you'll just hear like a loud ringing in your ear for a couple of seconds? And I was like, yeah, apparently that's a part of your hearing dying. Like whatever receptor in your ear hears that exact frequency is dying. And he goes, that can't be true. And I was like, you know what, you're right, it probably isn't, because that sounds like a BS thing, and I've heard a lot of people say it, but I've actually never looked into it. So I pulled open my phone. This is all you gotta do, folks. This is the bare minimum you gotta do. Some of y'all ain't doing this. I opened up my phone, and I just Googled, is a ringing in your ear a sign that you'll never hear that sound again, or a sign, and here's what I learned, okay? So go do your own research. Don't leave this video with this information unverified and then spread it to people. Do your own research, but from my research, what I got was several articles talking about tinnitus, or tinnitus. That's something I learned. Apparently it's pronounced tinnitus. I know! Everyone says tinnitus. Argue with me if you want to, but if you Google it, it's supposed to be pronounced tinnitus. And that is a constant ringing in your ear that either never goes away or can last for hours, and that can be a sign of hearing loss, but is not always a sign of hearing loss, whereas a ringing in your ear that lasts for a few seconds is just kind of normal. Everyone experiences it, and it's not considered tinnitus because it's so short, right? It's like a few seconds, like 10 seconds, just a little ringing. It has not been linked to any form of hearing loss definitively by science, meaning that no, that is not one of your hearing receptors dying, at least as far as we know based on that little bit of Googling I did. It's like, no, that is in fact not the case. Where did all of my saplings go? Did I not at one point have like, oh, a full stack of them up here? I did, yeah. There we go. Perfect. 1, 2, 3. And for your sake, I'm going to go ahead and... Is it true that a short ringing in my ear is a sign that I'll never hear that frequency again? That's way too long for a, oh yeah, here we go. I found, oh, Reddit. Yeah, this is bound to be true. Let's see. This is from Sporite on Reddit. Nope. When there is enough noise, your ears will make their own noise. Total silence will drive everyone insane. That does not feel like it is, it does not feel like it can be accurate. Another random commenter says, I think it depends on why your ears are ringing. If your ears are ringing due to being around loud sounds, you are likely setting yourself up for hearing loss. If you just have tinnitus, that is a different story. See, that's not super definitive, though. Is it normal to have occasional tinnitus? There are two types of tinnitus, or tinnitus if you're so inclined, that are worth knowing about. The first is pulsatile, and that is like a heartbeat. It's caused by sound created by the muscle movements around your ear changing in the ear canal or blood flow problems. These problems are usually located in the face or neck, and is why you'll likely hear sounds like your own pulse. That's weird. That is very odd. And then there's the other type. It's caused by problems in the nerves. Results in sound. One both here can have discernible blah, 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 blah. Some common causes of tinnitus can be from the buildup of earwax, and so if you find you get a lot of earwax, try to get this removed professionally every once in a while. Certain medications can cause tinnitus, which can be hard to avoid if the medication is very much necessary. Drinking too much alcohol or caffeine can contribute to it, so it's worth trying to limit this where possible. You can get tinnitus from dental problems or other areas of the mouth. See, what I'm getting at here is that if you hear a little bit of a ringing, there's like 1,000 different reasons for it. That was from the Hearing and Tinnitus Center, which is a very long website. That is their website, though. Which certainly seems to suggest to me that no, you're not going to lose your hearing. There's like 1,000 different reasons for it. Yeah, okay, here we go. So I'm on, what is this? This is, an urgent care website, okay? 8 causes of tinnitus, hearing loss, obviously, exposure to loud sounds, earwax, certain medications, dental issues, head injuries, underlying medical conditions, certain vitamin deficiencies. Now, I don't think if you have a slight hearing, like a vitamin deficiency, and you hear a little bit of a ringing in your ear, that you're never going to hear that frequency again. You know what I'm not finding? You know what I'm not finding is that I'm not finding any evidence to support that. Yeah, here's someone pointing. So this is just like a random homerecording.com seems to be like some sort of a forum. I realize this has nothing to do with Minecraft, but I'm very invested in it now. I've heard that a bunch of times. The thing is, it always seems like the same ringing pitch to me. So if it's true, I would not be able to hear that ringing anymore. Ask the Mythbusters. This is from 2012, so Mythbusters is still a thing. And yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true. Yeah, because it's always the same tone for me when I hear that. Because I get it too, not frequently, maybe like a couple of times a year, I'll get that for like 10 seconds. And it is always the same note. Maybe I have a vitamin deficiency. So there's actually like a lot more information about this. Even if the source of tinnitus is identified, most tinnitus is due to benign or non-threatening conditions. Yeah, the one thing I'm not seeing in here, like I'm seeing information about the little hairs in your ear that hear sound, and how tinnitus can be a sign that they've been damaged. What I'm not seeing is that occasional little ringing means that hair is definitively dying, and you'll never hear that frequency again. I've seen it in a couple of these forum posts, but like I've been looking on the Mayo Clinic, I've been on WebMD, I've been on Everyday Health, I've been reading through all of these, and none of these are mentioning like, yeah, every time you hear a little ringing in your ear, you'll never hear that frequency again. It doesn't appear to be true. So, anyway, none of that had anything to do with building a Minecraft base, did it? But you know what? It passed enough time that we now have enough dirt to finish the floor. I feel like so much of that, we don't really do cuts in this series, but that was about 10 minutes of me reading random articles, so a lot of that's going to get cut. The game was paused at one point. I'll probably cut all of that. I literally paused the game and was just reading off of WebMD. My point that I'm making is that just because you've always been told something, you can't just believe it's true. Because it's not even that people are lying to you or being malicious. They might just have also been given poor information. You know, is the daddy long legs, is the daddy long leg spider poisonous? That's one we've all heard. It's that, oh, it's actually extremely poisonous, but it has little bitty biters, so it can't bite you, which is so stupid. There are so many tiny insects that can bite you. There's no reason I can think of that a daddy. Let's see. Myth. Here's like an actual website that, fact. That is a full-fledged urban legend with no basis in fact. The legend is so widespread that many people believe it who should really know better, including some teachers and TV documentary producers. Oh my gosh. 3 different unrelated groups are called daddy longlegs. Harvestmen have no venom of any kind, none at all. Same with crane flies. Phocid spiders have venom, like almost all spiders, but there's nothing special about it. In fact, a recent study showed that phocid, I think is how that's pronounced, venom, is usually weak in its effects on insects. This myth is debunked at greater lengths on Rick Vedder's website, which I'm not going to go to. But I'm looking at a picture right now of the... Yeah, okay. So I think what we have in Texas is the Harvestman spider. Yeah, that looks like it. Not venomous at all is what it said, right? Harvestmen have no venom of any kind. But I guarantee you that if you go around... Here's my challenge to you today. This is what I want you to take away from this video. Nothing about Minecraft. I want you to go around, and I want you to ask people in your life, your parents, your children, your siblings, your grandchildren, your grandparents, your best friends, your worst enemies, anyone you come across, the mailman, anyone you come across, ask them, hey, is the daddy longlegs spider venomous? And see what their answer is. Or ask them, like, is it the most dangerous spider? But ask them the myth, like, but it can't bite you. And see what their response is. And then I want you to do something else. I want you to correct them. Tell them that they're wrong. Have this pulled up on your phone, your tablet, your laptop, your desktop, whatever. Pull up one of these articles and be ready to show them demonstrably, but correct them. If they say that, oh yeah, that's true, correct them, and then watch how they will argue with you based on no evidence whatsoever other than the fact that, well, I've always been told that. That's not a good enough reason to believe that something is objectively true and inarguable. Okay? We need to change that standard. You're gonna need a little something I like to call evidence if you're gonna make claims like that moving forward. Because it's patently false. Patently is a fun word to use in your everyday life. I feel like this video, what I want to, sometimes, you know what, we just make Minecraft videos for fun. But what I want today is I want you folks to, I want this to be like a learning experience for everyone watching. I want you to be able to walk away from here with like the knowledge necessary to shoot down this absolute, like this horse hockey. And to be on the lookout for it in the future. Try to be more mindful. I should have been more mindful when I brought up that tinnitus thing in the car. I didn't find any proof that that wasn't true, but also nothing I read suggested that it was. It all just sounds like you got too much earwax in your ears, and it's causing temporary tinnitus, and if you have bad tinnitus, it might be a sign that you're having hearing loss, but if it's just a temporary thing, it seems like everyone has that, and also maybe you just need to eat some more vitamins. That's my big takeaway for the day. So that's what I'm challenging you to do, is just look around, talk to your friends and family, and see how staunchly they hold to these sorts of BS, non-facts as we're going to call them. These sorts of like urban legends and myth and rumor. And comment down below. Come back to this video and comment down below your experiences. And maybe give me some examples of sort of apocryphal things that you've heard that you like looked up after this video and found out weren't true. What sort of things did you discover? Like, oh my gosh, it's true. I'll tell you one thing, because Dana Carvey confirmed this the other day. Although, did he? I heard this in an Oni Plays video. It might have been a lie. Let's not be apocryphal. Dana Carvey, Turtle Club, 9/11. Is this real? Yes, it's true. Dana Carvey... Okay, here we go. All right, watch this, watch this. This is an actual quote. Okay, so the myth, the legend as it's been told, passed down from our forebearers, was that the day that they were shooting The Master of Disguise, one of the greatest cinematic masterpieces of our time, is the same day that 9/11 happened. This is not a joke. This sounds like it's a setup for a joke. I'm being dead serious right now. Dana Carvey was dressed up as a man in a giant turtle costume when 9/11 happened. This is a real fact. Again, I want to just get... it sounds like a setup for a very bad, like, inappropriate joke, but I've got the page open here now. It's an actual quote from Dana Carvey. Look at this. For years, it's been an extremely weird bit of lore that circulates on the internet every once in a while about Dana Carvey's infamous 2002 comedy Master of Disguise, specifically that the film's Turtle Club scene, as close to a signature scene as the movie like this can get, was filmed in the immediate aftermath of 9/11. Okay? And that, before beginning filming in the aftermath of the attack, the cast and crew of the film got together to have a moment of silence for the victims. Okay? So let's see. And here's where we should be very clear that the Turtle Club scene was not, despite what people say, actually filmed on 9/11. Production of the film hadn't started when the attacks happened, and didn't begin until a few weeks after. Oh, the Turtle Club was just the first scene to be filmed. That's a shame. But now we're learning the truth. See, we're separating truth from fiction. This story has fascinated people. This is from, like, the AV Club, by the way. So here's the actual quote from Dana Carvey. I think this is it. It's actually a sensitive... Hold on. Where's this from? Here's Carvey per the New York Post. So now we're reading from the New York Post on the AV Club. It's kind of a sensitive topic, but after 9/11, I was shooting a movie called Master of Disguise. We took an appropriate time off and went back to shooting, and I was playing, if you've seen the movie, kids, the Turtle Man, with a bald cap and a weird thing on my lip and a big green shell outfit. I was in the costume all day, and then they said, we're going to have a group prayer about 9/11. What a different time in Hollywood where you have a group prayer. Incredible. I can't imagine it now. Unless you were praying to some sort of, like, demon pagan god of creeping on kids. I could see that happening. I couldn't get the thing. I would have held... I couldn't get the thing off. I couldn't get the thing. I would have held everyone for a half hour getting all that prosthetic makeup off. So, as I remember it, everyone else was wearing civilian clothes. I'm dressed as the Turtle Man with a bald head, and I'm holding hands. I'm lowering my head and praying, and I just thought, at the moment, this is very strange. I'm picturing it now. Also, he admits that he can't remember if they got the shell part of his costume off for the moment, but confirms for certain that he was wearing the bald cap and the facial prosthetics. So there you go. It was not on 9/11, but it was shortly afterward, and they did have not even a moment of silence, an actual prayer on set. That's crazy. And he was dressed partially or possibly fully as the Turtle Man. Again, these little apocryphal things, man, they'll get you. Everyone talks about them and everyone believes them. But that doesn't mean that they're true. Do we want to go one more, like, loop around before we place the glass down? Because, like, you'll see that it sticks out down here, and I'm thinking that maybe it should be the same up there. It's just my thought on the matter. I don't know. Let's see. If we do that, I've actually placed that one in the worst possible spot. Should have done it there, so that we can do that. We're going to need more stone, though, aren't we? I don't think that 64 is going to be enough. I don't remember how wide we made this thing. Isn't it like 19 blocks wide, actually? I don't remember. In any case, it's not going to hurt to go ahead and stop one of these and have it cook up some more cobblestone instead, and just kind of have that going. And we will transfer the remainder of the glass up here and also take that glass with us. But there you go. Apocryphal things abound. You know what? There's also apocryphal things that get turned into weird internet... Oh, that's not going to be connected glass. Well, you know what? Eventually, we're going to get the chisel, and we'll be able to fix it, so it'll be fine. But there's other forms of these sort of apocryphal things. I think that a lot of fan theories that you see bandied about on the internet are kind of apocryphal in their own way, when they draw on real facts but kind of like misrepresent them. And you know what I'm thinking about here, folks. You know what it is I'm thinking about. I'm, of course, thinking about... Jar Jar is the key to all this. So Jar Jar is the key to all this is an actual George Lucas quote when he's talking to the CG team about how they've got to get Jar Jar Binks right. Because Jar Jar Binks... You can watch the clip. It's part of the documentary for The Phantom Menace. And he's talking to the crew who is doing the CGI, and he's telling them, he literally follows like Jar Jar's the key to all this, because he's a funnier character than we've ever had before. And he's talking about how they've got to get like the body humor correct and everything, because this is like the full CGI character, and he's like, yeah, if people buy Jar Jar, then they'll buy the rest of the movie, and if they don't buy Jar Jar, then, you know, we might be in a rough spot, because this is going to be the most CG ever in a movie before. And, you know, we're going to be asking people to sort of accept a lot of things. So we got to get Jar Jar right. So that line is part of what people use in the Darth Jar Jar theory. Now, the original Darth Jar Jar theory, as I've seen it, appears to be a funny joke, right? Like, it's a funny idea that, haha, Jar Jar was meant to be the Sith Lord lol, when that's obviously not the case. And anyone who's ever watched the behind the scenes of The Phantom Menace will know that that was not the intention for Jar Jar. George Lucas wanted to make a funny character that kids would like. He would not have made him the twist villain of the series. You're insane if you think otherwise. And no, there are no genuine hints to it throughout the rest of the movies. Yes, Jar Jar is made to be responsible for the creation of the Empire, but then he doesn't in any way gain from that, does he? I think that's something a lot of people miss, is that it would have paid off in 4, 5, and 6 were that the case. Otherwise, what would it be setting up? It's not setting up George Lucas's original sequel trilogy, which is not what Disney made, but that has nothing to do with Jar Jar. So no, that is not the case. And it's just funny to me that what was supposed to be this dumb joke, like lol Darth Jar Jar, the reason I'm bringing it up, because I'm sure that all of you, most of my viewers, are wise, intelligent individuals who are thinking, well, yeah, of course Darth Jar Jar is just a joke. People don't actually believe that that's a real thing, do they? Yes, they do. You are underestimating the stupidity of the average person. There are absolutely people who think Darth Jar Jar is real. They think that, of course, that's what George Lucas was intending. Of course, no, he was actually a Sith Lord. What are you talking about? That was the original intention. No, it's not. And they will quote that line as like that's the smoking gun. George Lucas said it himself. Jar Jar is the key to all this. And they'll say it with complete, genuine sincerity. And it boggles my brain that people are this stupid every time I hear it. But so in conclusion, no. When he's talking about Jar Jar being the key to all of this, he is in fact referring to selling the CG in the movie. Remember, you've got to compel people to believe in this world, and they've never seen this much CG in a film, so we've got to get Jar Jar right. That's what George is talking about. There's no secret motives. Jar Jar is not a Sith Lord. That is not a fact. That is just that is such a thing with silly fan theories. The Rugrats one is the same way. It's just the sort of silly, fun thing that fans create. It's like a headcanon, and it's innocent and it's fun, but then you end up with sort of like the more, what is the term? Stupid members of society who hear these things and they're like, that must be true. It's like you'll find it in the comments section of a Matt Pat video. I don't watch a lot of game theory or any of his other videos, but you'll find these people. I feel like Matt's definitely always got like a wink and a nod to the camera when he makes these ridiculous theories. My favorite of which is the Mario is evil theory, where he takes certain clips and like really hypers down on them and is like, Mario is a sociopath, right? And it's funny. And if you watch it within that context, it's funny. But then there's the group that doesn't get it. And the group that doesn't get that it's a joke is divided into two parts. It's the part that thinks it's dead serious and will then go on to believe it and argue with other people about it. It's like, no, this is the case. You watched Matt Pat's video on it, right? He clearly lays it out that this is in fact a canon and true. I don't know why. And then there's the side that doesn't get that it's a joke and thinks he's being serious and is like, you idiot, how could you believe that it's very clearly not the case? It's like, it's tragic that both sides are so stupid they don't get that it's a bit. And they're now like arguing with each other and embarrassing themselves on the internet. But both sides exist, and it's shocking. And you could say, well, Matt Pat has younger fans. They're adults! I had a man working as a waiter at a pizza restaurant in Florida try to convince me that Darth Jar Jar was real, and was not having any of me arguing with them, and he was very rude considering he was my waiter. He should have just said, yeah, all right, man, and gone on with his life. But it was like he staked his entire existence on this being true, and me having the audacity to sit here and tell this man serving me pizza that Darth Jar Jar is just a funny joke on the internet he couldn't handle it. He couldn't handle the truth. Folks, I tell you and I tell you. Apocryphal stories are going to get you all in trouble one of these days. But not me. Not me. Dana Carvey did not record turtle time on 9/11. I know that to be a fact because I've read the quote by Dana Carvey. I've read the quote by Dana Carvey, and I know it to be true because the man would know. And there you go. There you go. We should probably wrap this episode up. The issue is I don't know how long we've been running because, again, there's going to be a lot cut out because I just went on a tangent reading about tinnitus or tinnitus if you want to be wrong, allegedly. Again, you don't have to believe me that you're mispronouncing it. You can just Google it. I don't know. Maybe I should just go ahead and finish this and we'll call it an episode. If I keep talking, the episode's just going to get longer and longer, but if I shut up, we just do a cut to the moment when all the grass is done. Hey, you know what? We're going to keep making dirt, because we're going to need more dirt in the future anyway. We're going to keep planting trees, because we're going to need more trees in the future anyway. And we're going to keep cutting them down, because we're going to need to cut them all down in the future anyway. We're just going to keep going. Everything's good. Next episode, we'll finally be ready to move bees into the Beetrium. I guess we'll have to, sequester off certain sections to certain bees. I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't know how much room they need to move around. I genuinely have no clue. I guess we could make, a square here. I guess we could go ahead and map that out while we're waiting on the glass. So, this section here will be where we'll have our first bee. And then does it need to be completely enclosed top to bottom? Potentially. Apparently they can't fly through slabs, so if we wanted to grab some slabs, and we should have plenty of those, maybe what we could do is, and we'll have to actually do some experimenting to find out, but if I put that there, surely they won't be able to fly along above that. And then that way the light still comes through the glass up there. I kind of like that. I like this as a design. I'm a big fan, so we'll have that come along here. And that'll close up there. And then we'll have the rest of this be more fencing. And I'm sort of second-guessing some of the design elements now that we're actually sort of filling in the inside. For instance, I would prefer... I guess we could put this right down the middle of this pillar here, couldn't we? That would probably make more sense, because there's no reason for me to ever go down here. So yeah, we might have to correct that in the future. But right now, we've run out of... I'll tell you what, I'm going to stop talking. We're going to do something we've never done in this series before. I'm going to stop talking, and we will resume when I have finished my work. And then that way, you don't have to listen to me ramble, and we can just cut to the end of the video. So we're actually back, and we're not at the end of the video, but Maria Amor mentioned being able to use netherrack fencing, I think, alongside regular fencing to create a gap that you could walk through, but certain animals could not. I don't know how to get netherrack. Or yeah, I do. Can I get netherrack out of here? I think you can. And in fact, I think something else that I was trying to figure out before, maybe, can you get mushrooms from in here? No, you can use them. Oh, wait a minute. You can use a mushroom to get a slime block. But we never did figure out how to actually get mushrooms, did we? I've not gotten any comments about that yet. I mean, we built a mana pool. But it seemed to suggest that with the ceramic organic water bucket, we should be able to just get a mushroom. And it didn't really explain how that would work necessarily, but maybe I should just get some more organic water and see what we can accomplish. In the meantime, I just went ahead and did double fences here, which is a bit more of a hassle. And then it looks like this is done cooking up over here. So hopefully we have enough glass. Yeah, I think we do. We have a whole stack, so we're ready to finish it up. That entire time, all I could think of was the Bee movie starring Jerry Springer. That's not right. Who's in that movie? Jerry Seinfeld. In my defense, I knew immediately after I said it that it was wrong. Good old Seinfeld. I should have remembered, yeah. He had the TV show. I never watched it. I know it's probably incredible. I'm sure it's a rite of passage. I'll get around to it someday. I've watched all of Cheers. Does that win me any points with you, denizens of the internet? Cheers is pretty good. You know what's better? Controversial, and I think maybe it's not better. Maybe it's just down to preference. But I'm a big fan of that their Frasier. I've watched that through like 2 or 3 times. That's a great show. Not recently though. I should rewatch it. It's really good. Here we are, folks. The Beetrium. Tier 1. And then we'll have Tier 2, Tier 3, Tier 4, and then probably in the future this will go on for infinity, and it'll be full of billions of bees, and it'll be wonderful. Until then, thank you folks for watching. God bless you. Tune in next time for when we actually put the bees back in order. Bye. Or, bee.